But anyways, man, real quick, let the people know who you are, what artists, what you do.
Uh, I go by Big Easy. I'm a underground hip hop artist. Um, I kind of have my own little style. I don't really follow too many people. I try to do my own thing and make it my own, really, just like any other artist would want.
Yeah,
I try to be different, of course.
yeah, I feel that. Of course, I mean, I, for artists, you have to be different. You know what I mean?
Right,
And I was just saying that to the last couple of two artists I was interviewing as well. Like they're just saying the same thing. You got to be different, and which is good because nowadays everyone's like copycatting of like the next biggest artist, and it's just like, come on, bro, bring
right.
some
Like,
pure. It's kind of like sampling like music just in general. Like you know what I mean? Like I
right.
don't know, ain't feeling
I've
it.
I've noticed too, man. A lot of this mainstream music that we have out here, not to down anybody for it, but it's all starting to sound the same. Nobody sounds different anymore. I mean, you go back to when Pac was alive and Biggie, those two are great artists, but you can't compare their sounds because they were two totally different people. If Pac was on the radio, you knew, hey, that's Pac. If Biggie was on the radio, you knew, hey, that's Biggie, without a doubt.
Yeah, yeah, it's,
And now it's just like, okay, this got a good beat. Who is this?
yeah. And then at the end of the day, it's just charts, ratings, and who's being on top most of the time. And a lot of artists fall off, but then there's some that fall back up. But yeah, dude, I definitely feel that. And that's why I try interviewing a lot of like artists that are kind of underground because
Right.
it's pure, it's unique. You know what I mean? And it's just
It's
what,
real.
yeah. And dude, I don't know about you, but I go for mixtapes, I should say. And I feel like it's so raw and pure because you can just go at it. You just let it out. You know what I mean?
Right. It's like I know a lot of the artists that I listen to, they're they're big, and I say word because they're no longer here, such as XXXTentacion. You got Juice World, which is one of my biggest inspirations, and then you got people that are still here like Jelly Roll, uh, Ryan Upchurch, Little White. I mean, you got all these other great artists out here that want to stay underground. They don't want to go big because once they go big, then it's like they're gonna get pushed out because they don't sound the same as everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, man, that's why, it's even hard for me to say because like I definitely get it, bro. Um, like being somebody that's stands out on their own and try to put like a footprint on something that everybody's trying to do. You know what I mean? It's like one in a million.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right. And what makes it even more difficult, and this is something that I've personally realized, what makes it difficult for me is one, I don't sound the same as everybody else. I don't rap about the same things as everybody else. And two, I'm a Caucasian male trying to come into a music world that isn't really accepting of whites.
Yeah. I mean, you got, definitely people that are different color tone, obviously. That's vice versa towards all aspects of genre generations.
Right,
But the
right.
thing is though, it's like you stand out in different cultures and different lanes that different aspects created, as in hip hop, as in
Mhm.
black culture created hip hop, created what is jiggy with it now. You know what I mean? And
Right,
for a different race to step into that, it's just like the other way around that we've us different color tone try to step into was is to be real and how other people view it and what you see on social media a lot of people put a footprint on is the white people's world. And honestly, it started from like way back before history when we got taught in class. But the thing is though,
right.
it's different. It's 2022. Everything's the same. We're all having mixed babies. We're all mixing each other up now, bro. There's no original color, and no one's to
Right.
blame. It's just how it happened.
That's how the world's becoming, and you know what? And I think it's really a great thing that it's becoming like that.
Yeah. Oh,
Now,
it's a blessing.
if our music industry, or so forth as artists, such as myself, if we could just like come together and be like, look,
But look at it this way, though.
this,
That too, and that's a major important part. But you gotta look at a lot of artists. There's no original ethnicity. There's a lot of people that are mixed. Look at, dude. I always say this artist. I swear to God, probably in every single interview is gonna be this artist. I say Drake. Like, bro,
right,
he's Jewish and black, bro. Come on, you know what I mean? Like, and
right, right,
he's
right,
top. Everyone knows. The whole world knows who Drake is. But
right.
at the end of the day, it's just who you are as a person that really matters. And if you
Right.
embrace yourself and express yourself through music, do that, bro. Like, do it, love it, make it fun. Because if you just make it a part of your job, it's gonna feel like a job, and then
That's right.
that's when you're gonna start
That's like
hating it.
my dad. Shout out to my dad because he's a really cool guy. But my dad always told me you you can work every day of your life and hate it, and it's still going to be work.
Yeah,
But if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
yeah, and that's
And
100%.
really, at the age of at the age of 13, I got into music a lot. I was listening to a lot of different genres, and hip hop and rap and R&B have always caught my ear tone.
Mhm.
And then 2 years later, my grandmother actually passed away.
Sorry to hear that,
So
bro.
I got into like a real dark era of my life
Mhm.
where I just had this I don't care attitude.
Right.
And then I got on this bad path. Every artist has their story. Everybody has a story.
Yeah.
I got on this bad path of drugs and
Oh shit.
decided
Hold on. Hold
decided
on. That was my
I
moo.
was going,
Shh, don't judge.
hey, look,
Nah,
I
nah.
mess with the moo.
I'll edit that out. Don't worry. I got you. What's going on?
But I turned to music because I realized the people I was hanging out with and what I was doing wasn't right. It
Yeah.
wasn't helping me. It was actually hurting me more than anything. So I turned to music and I actually started rapping when I was 15.
Hmm.
I'm 24 now, so I mean, almost 10 years ago is when I started this whole music journey, and it's had a lot of ups and downs. And I perform regularly here in my hometown
Hmm. That's good. Keep it
at
local.
one of the local shops here that do shows for like Halloween, New Year's, Christmas. Uh, they do shows like every other weekend. Like they have at least one show a month,
Mm.
and I've gotten recognition here in my hometown. So like now I can go to Walmart and they're like, "Yo, you were the white boy rapping at Mo."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, yeah, that's me. That just goes to show that even starting out locally, you can become something more than what you had planned. Because when I started this music thing, bro, I did not plan on, you know, walking in my own hometown and going to Walmart or somewhere like that, somewhere out to eat, so to say, and people recognizing me
Yeah. And,
just by performing on the side of the street.
and that's always a plus because you're getting recognition, dude. And it feels good. You know what I mean?
It does,
You're
bro. It
just
feels
like
so
it's
good.
like a low key high that you get off of, and you're just like, all right, I'm finally getting recognized for something I do, even if it's only your own city. Of course, like it's important to get yourself out there. That's why it takes a little while to put yourself out there because you're not just doing it for your city. You got to keep going on tours. You got to keep going to different cities and towns and states and whatnot,
Right.
states, country. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You gotta keep doing them shows, even if it's a show of 10, 15 people.
Yeah. But you know what?
Eventually
It's
that 10 to 15 people is going to expand to 25 to 50 to 70, and then eventually you're in like triple digits and you're like, oh my god,
yeah,
this is really becoming a lifestyle, and I'm going to have to, if I really want to do this,
yeah,
I need to do it.
yeah, facts. Because at the end of the day, when it gets real, that's when the real in you like comes out. Either it's gonna
Yep.
make you or break you. You know what I mean? Type of deal. Dude, trust me, I've been there, bro. Like I've been like I get what you were saying when since you were a kid, this whole music. Like for me, my mom always, I've trust me, I've been through the same route as you. Like when I was a kid, my mom, she didn't really let me listen to, hip hop or rap or anything like that because of profanity. You know what I mean? She tried to make me that
Right.
good kid in her eyes that she saw. God bless her.
Right.
But of course, as any kid, we got our hands onto it some way or somehow. As a kid, you're gonna find your way to get into it.
Right. Whether it was
Yeah,
going over to a friend's house or
yeah.
just being out in public, because me personally, yo, I got a system in my car, and I'm talking about, I have it turned up as loud as I'm able to turn it up without blowing my speakers, because eventually some kid's gonna be like, yo, that's cool.
Mm.
I want that.
Yeah, because he be booming.
And then
You know
you
what I'm
just
saying? Yeah, and that's a good thing, dude. Like you stay out there, you put yourself out there. That's the important thing, and you pretty much you hold on to that, and you just look forward. You just look forward to it, and at the end of the day, bro, like you feel accomplished. Like you tonight, you're going to bed good because you put in that work. But tomorrow you got to
oh
put in
yeah,
more work. You got to be better than who you were,
right,
what you do the day before. You know what I mean?
right. Always, bro. And that's the thing. As an artist, I always try to strive to be better than
Yeah.
what I was yesterday. So like I just actually put out my first self-recorded song out yesterday on BandLab.
Oh yeah.
It's not the greatest. I'm a little rusty. I've been out of the game for a minute. So I'm trying to get my flow back and trying to get back into the groove of things.
That's okay.
But I went ahead and published it anyways,
Mm.
just to have something out there.
Yeah.
And you know, tonight after I get done with this, I'm going to go back on there and I'm going to grind some more.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one point I was so about four almost 5 years ago, I moved up to Indiana,
Mm.
Muncie, Indiana at that. And so it's where Ball State University is. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but I think it's like a D1 college, D2 college. Anyways, it was a little college
Yeah.
town. And I went to this local vape shop because I was, I vape because I'm trying to get off cigarettes or whatever
Mm.
at the time. And then I met this guy in there, and he, I was started talking to him. I was like, bro, what do you do for work? He goes, I do traffic control. I'm like, bet, get me on.
Mm.
So I started that, and then I started working with this guy daily, and his dad was a foreman for the crew that we were working for.
Yeah.
Well, one night, when it was this weekend night, I went out, bought a bottle. We were gonna have a good little time, throw a little party. Well, I got a little liquid courage in me, so to say. I was like, bro, I rap. They're like, no, you don't. I'm like, no, bro, I rap. I'm being dead serious.
Yeah.
So I put on a beat, I put an instrumental on it, and I just started. I went off on it. He was like, bro,
Mm.
that was fire.
I feel that. I feel
I'm
that.
like, I appreciate that, bro.
I have a
But we
similar.
went to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
we went to work the next day, and come to find out, he was showing everybody at work. I'm like, oh my God, what did you do,
They
bro?
put you on blast.
And they put me on blast at the end of that morning. I was like, all right, I'll show you something. So I hooked my phone up to the truck or whatever. I started playing this beat and I started rapping just like it was nothing because I performed in front of people.
Mhm.
This is no problem. So I did it. Well, the one of the guys from the crew recorded it and sent it to his buddy. His buddy wound up sending it. I don't know if you know who Chris Hosier is, but he's real big into the hip hop
Generation,
genre of
genre,
it.
yeah.
So yeah,
Mm.
and he sent it to his buddy, and his buddy actually showed Hosier's producer Weaver the video, and Weaver was like,
Like,
"Call him right now and get him down here.
yeah,
Call him right now and get him down here."
like stuck, like,
So
bruh, you need, you like,
yeah, he was like,
we
"Bro,
got
I
something.
need him here ASAP."
Mm.
Well, I we worked. We just got off work. We were headed back home. My phone rings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't know who this is. He was like, "Bro, answer it." I was like, "What did y'all do?" He just answered it, bro. Answered it. So I'm like, "Hello?" He goes, "Yeah, is this Big Easy?" I said, "Yeah, that's me. Why?" He goes, "This is such and such with Azimuth Records."
Mm.
I was like, "Okay, yeah." I was like, "Nah, you're playing." I was like, "You're playing, bro. This has got to be a joke."
Yeah.
He was like, "No, this is such and such with Azimuth Records." So it's like, okay, um, what's up? You know, I was in shock. So like,
Mm.
normally how you talk to a business partner, you'd be like, "Oh, how are you doing?" Not "What's up?" So I'm like, "What's up?"
Yeah, here's,
And he goes, "Uh, I got a producer down here wanting to work with you."
mm.
I said, "Okay, um, who is it?" And he was like, "It's Weaver. Do you know who Chris Hosier is?" Well, yeah, I know who he is. I've listened to a lot of his music. Why? He goes, "Well, it's his producer, Weaver." I'm like, "Bro, you're lying." He goes, "No, he wants to work with you." I was like, "Okay, well, how do I get in contact with him?" He goes, "I'll send you all the details later after this phone call." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And like, bro, at that moment, after we hung up, I literally broke down
Yeah.
because I was in such disbelief. I was like, this is not happening.
It was like a sign, like somewhere from something that you're just like, I gotta do this. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, bro, this is I looked at him and I was like, bro, this you're playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "No, such and such send him the video of you rapping." I was like, "Oh my God."
Mm-hmm.
Like this was a dream come true. So he sent me the contact information. You know, I hit him up. I was like, "This is such and such, blah blah blah." And come to find out, I didn't know recording was actually fairly cheap in the
Yeah.
music industry
Mm-hmm.
until then, because I thought I was, you know, okay. Well, if I'm wanting to go to a recording studio, I gotta have somebody say, "Hey, I want you to come record with me."
Yeah.
Well, come to find out, that's not the case. You can actually just walk. I found out you can actually just walk up in a recording studio and be like, "Yo, I want to record.
Yeah.
Is there a producer around?" So it's real neat to know that. That's a little fun fact. But he was like, when can you be here?" If and I told him, I said, "Bro, I can be here this weekend."
Mm-hmm.
So it was like an hour. It was in Indianapolis, so it's like an hour drive from where I was living at the time.
Right.
And he goes, "Okay, well the charge is like $50 an hour."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Bet, bro." I just came back from a storm call. I'm about to blow at least $300-400 on recording time.
Yeah.
And so I was like, look, I want 4 hours minimum. I said, if I go over 4 hours, I will pay you whatever else I owe. So, I showed that Saturday. I showed up, and I walk in the studio, and he's there. And I got some stuff going on over there, and sadly, I wound up recording multiple songs that night, but I only kept one out of the many that I recorded. So, because I don't ever write, I'm not a writer. I can't write.
No.
Or I can't say I can't write. I can write.
Mm.
It's just I get writer's block really bad.
Yeah.
So like I'll write down like 6 bars and I'll freeze. But so a lot of the times I go off the top of the head. I freestyle a lot of my raps.
A lot of
But
you put out.
Yeah, actually, anything that I've ever had put out, I have freestyle.
Okay. And so let me ask you this: what inspires you when you freestyle? Like, what comes to the dome, or what do you feel? You know what I mean? Because for me, when I try even freestyle and I try to think, you know what I mean? What not think necessarily, but kind of go with my gut, what feels right. You know, I'll think of a topic,
Right.
or I'll hear something, or usually it's instrumental for me that inspires me to flow or to come up with some, because I'm a songwriter. I write songs, and that's kind of what, like, one of my professions that I do. And well, I wouldn't say professions, well, I'm learning still, but so far, dude, like I said, it could come to a beat, and it's just like it could be just a simple, like, like a little something like that, to just like kind of like little thump, you know what I mean, little rhythm. Once I get a flow going, and then like
Right.
start going to my head, I have techniques. Well, we can talk about that another time, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, like, what gets it going? You know what I mean?
So a lot of what actually fuels the fire, so to say, uh, it's a lot of what's happened to me in my past.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I'm not gonna say past trauma, but like past experiences.
Yeah.
So, and that, when my grandmother passed, that has a lot to do with what I rap about.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of it is just the passion for it.
Yeah. And that's where it really truly means, because, dude, I can relate to that, man. And for me, at a young age, I lost my mom at a young age, and I can relate. And the crazy thing is about that, when you said that you had a relation with your grandmother and how that affects you, I actually have that relationship with my grandmother as well. She basically is my, like, not replacement, but pretty much what carried on what my mother couldn't. So that helped me continue on, right? Pretty much my motive, my go-to, my support, my backbone. You know what I mean? Like, what I lost. And dude,
Right.
trust me, every day, dude, I stress the fact that, like, what if one day I get that call? You know what I mean? Because she's I want to say not what she is. I would say, regardless, she's all I got. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the inspiration that you do to even let that out in your music, bro, that takes a lot. And I can relate, and I appreciate that, even for you to even do that kind of stuff, because it's hard, because you have to get into a dark place and you gotta just let it out, you know?
And so also, I've talked about my grandmother. My grandmother played a big part of my life.
Yeah.
But so did my great grandparents. My great grandparents, rest their souls, they're both no longer here. 2 years ago, my great grandmother had passed away, and at the time, I wasn't really doing anything with my music. I kind of just laid back from it. I got away from it, and then, you know, when my great grandmother passed, that's when I started picking it back up. That's when I started getting back into it. And one of one of my one of the artists that I listen to is Futuristic.
Mm.
And I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Futuristic,
Yeah, Futuristic.
what's can you name one of his songs?
Uh, The Greatest is one of them. He does. I think he actually has a song with Dax. I don't know if you know who Dax is, but Dax is another
No, I don't know.
song that he's done music with. But in one of his songs, right there at the outro, this is one of the bars that I relate to the most, and it says, "When my grandmother passed, I was up on the stage. I said goodbye, then I lost my ways."
Mm,
So, like a lot, that right there, just that one bar, it really, I relate to it a lot
yeah,
because I feel like when my grandmother passed, I lost who I was.
yeah, like a piece of you went with her, pretty much.
And, yeah. And when my great grandmother passed, after finding myself again, I lost who I was again. And at that time, I was actually performing when I got the call.
Hmm.
So it, I listen to a lot of different artists like that. So him when he said that, it hits at home. Even reading that lyric, it hits home.
Yeah, it hits you in a different spot, and it hits you emotionally, and it kind of just like hits that scar, and it kind of reopens a little bit.
Right.
But time heals wounds, and just keep embracing yourself, bro. It's better to let it out than let
Oh
it
yeah.
in. But real quick, so let me ask you this, and just just getting off topic a little bit, because I do appreciate you inspiring
Right.
big things that inspirations, and that makes you and helps you become a lot better artist, and also, I mean, you stay humble, you become a better person. But
Right.
what was I gonna ask you? Gosh, I went blank. Bro. No,
Best
but
best of us, bro.
no, it's all good. But no, so coming from inspiration and stuff like that. So when you were going back to when you were a kid, like when did it actually like really start for you? Because I know you said that you were like performing in front of your dad and stuff like that, but like when did it truly really start, like for you? Like when it was the idea, like you wanted to freestyle, or you wanted to flow, you wanted to just like speak
So
in rhythm words? Because you know how
the
like you mentioned
idea
Biggie,
actually
yeah.
the idea actually started when I was 13.
Hmm.
And that's when I actually started expanding my music,
Yeah.
my taste in music, so to say. And uh, I came across this artist. His name's Haystack,
Hmm.
and I was listening to what he was rapping about. I'm like, bro, I can do this. This, all he's doing is telling a story.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
much
can do this.
poetics. Freaking look at Tupac, because you mentioned Tupac and Biggie. And that's what I was
Right,
referring to, because look at Biggie when he was like in New York, I believe, in Brooklyn, sitting on this stairway, and he was just writing some lyrics, and he just started freestyling, and then, bro, you already know the rest. Tupac, he was a
right.
poet, and back in high school, he took drama. He was a poet and stuff like that. He wrote a lot of poetry,
So
things like
really,
that.
so it came, and then I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So one day I was sitting in English class actually. I was sitting in literature, one of
Mm-hmm.
my lit classes, and we had to write a poem,
Mm-hmm.
and I started writing mine, and it came natural.
Yeah.
So like I was actually recording it. I was recording it as I was doing it, so I wouldn't have to stop and be like, oh, let me write this down.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the poem, recording it, and then I went back and wrote it down.
Okay, that's smart. That's smart to do because, bro, like for me, when like I'm let's say for instance I'm in the shower, bro, like I think of some shit, I'm just like flowing. Then I'm like, fuck, I don't got my phone, so like I lose it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And see, that's like I'll be in the car, and I'll have my music playing, and I'll start rapping the song, and then I'll just go off with it.
Mm-hmm.
I won't even say the lyrics they're saying. I'll start coming up with my own lyrics over theirs. I'm like, dang it! I wish I could have recorded that. That would have been dope.
Yeah. Uh,
So like, I get it.
yeah. I mean, just like that, Michael Jackson, bro. Like most of his greatest hits were just him just walking in the park, just walking around, just doing his little melody lullabies, and just wrote his music as he was just along. But nowadays, because of
Right? It's like
technology, dude, you can just record that shit fast, no matter where you are. Just have your
fast,
phone.
quick.
That's
Right.
all you need. But that's cool
That's
though,
like
man.
Juice World. Juice World, rest in peace of soul. He's another one of my favorite artists, as I mentioned before.
Mm,
Uh, a lot of people don't know this unless they've watched his documentary that he has. I think it's on Hulu or
I think
HBO,
it's
one of the two.
Prime, I believe too.
But back into the biz,
Yeah.
they talk about his upbringing, and whatnot. But a lot of people don't realize none of his music was actually written.
Mm,
He would take one beat, record 3 different times, and it'd be 3 different songs, and he'd pick the best one.
mm.
So he never actually wrote his music. His was all freestyle.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm the same way. I'll sit here and record a song 3, 4, 5 different times
Mm. And that's
and
unique.
pick the best
Yeah.
one.
And that's how a
I'm
lot
like,
of artists are starting to do that now because there's this one artist named Mike that I listen to, and he raps, but he's more like a melody type deal. But anyways, what he does, he goes on a studio, and he drops like three different versions of the same song, but three different versions, and then he picks one that sounds the best, and he
right.
has them on, and then that's how his song's created. And I think that's crazy. I think Lil Wayne's the first, kind of one of the first artists that did that to bring that out. Like he just like pretty much was like,
Yeah.
I'm done writing. I'm just gonna record, and that's what he does in every single
Right.
hit. He's a
That's what
goat.
people don't realize. That's what people don't realize. Your best songs come when you're not trying.
Yeah, that's when you're loving it, bro.
And the thing about freestyling, yeah, you have to try, but you don't have to think and try as hard as if you're writing.
Right.
See, like you said, you're a songwriter.
Yeah.
It probably takes you 2, 3 days to write a song.
I mean, honestly, it
Maybe,
depends. It
maybe,
depends though.
maybe.
It depends because like there's.
But I'm saying it could be shorter or it could be longer. Me, it takes you hitting play and record for me to do it,
Oh
and I can do that 3 more times before you have one song wrote.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh,
But
I know what you're saying. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
my talent.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
It's the time.
So
That's what you're saying. The quality. Yeah.
now artists are trying to put music out fast,
Mm.
so they're recording 3, 4 different songs on the same beat and choosing the best one.
Yeah. But that's that, and that's one way. But then there's other artists as well that look for detail. So that's why a lot of them go for songwriters like Drake. He's like Drake. he he pretty much he hires songwriters sometimes. Some of his hits are from
Right.
songwriters because I mean look at Bruno Mars. He wrote a couple of songs for a couple of artists that were hits, but it's because they don't have
Right.
time to sit there and write songs. They have time. They need time to focus on their vocals, focus on how they're sounding and how they
Right.
perform, and other things, business stuff. But
Right.
you know what I
That's
mean?
like
Yeah,
me, me, me to you. I could down the road and be like, bro, I need you to write me a song
yeah.
because I got all this other stuff going on. I need you to write me a song.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, I see why artists would have someone write a song,
Hmm.
but at that point, you expedite yourself of the true feeling of the song and the music.
It's business. That's why they
But I
say
mean,
it's
that's a business part of it.
yeah, yeah. It's a business part of it, and that's why I say when it comes to the music industry, it's one of the hardest things to gamble. It's like a gamble, pretty
It
much.
is.
You go in there, you're
That's
playing
you're
Russian.
going in playing. You're going not even playing Russian roulette, bro. You're going in playing some Texas Hold'em and hoping you got the best hand on the table.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you could have two pairs and then someone's gonna have a royal flush,
And there's
but you just gotta hope you can psych that person out to make them think you got the better hand.
Yeah, but then also there's snakes in the grass too, bro. Just because it sounds good doesn't mean it is good.
Bro,
And with
facts.
and with that, you go with, who you trust. Why do you think there's so many independent artists nowadays? Because they don't trust nobody. They ain't gonna put their profit nor their hard work or investments or etc. to get them a label or get them
Bro,
best contract.
honestly,
Like, nah.
honestly, I could have signed with Azimuth Records
Yeah,
4 years ago,
yeah,
but I didn't because I know how the music industry works.
right.
Like you just said, there's snakes in the grass. And a lot of times the grass is extremely tall. So you gotta watch who you're dealing with and what company you're going with.
Well, yeah. And then I was and we were talking about documentaries earlier. I was watching one with Kanye and how he was supposed to sign to, was it Def Jam or Def, I don't know, something like that. Where it was the one with Jay.
Okay,
Oh
bro.
no, it was one with Jay-Z's records.
Oh, Jay Z's. Oh, shoot, I can't remember the name of it,
I know it's like tip of
but
the
I
tongue,
know.
but I can't
Yeah,
forget. But you know what I mean? Like he was supposed to
yeah.
sign with them, and they just kept laying it off, and then finally, eventually, they put him on. They put him on, and then I'm like I said with everybody else, the rest with his career. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like he kept pushing and pushing and pushing, bro. There was a part in the
That's like
well, there was a part in the interview. There was a part in the documentary where like he was still like upcoming, and then he pulled up on an
right,
artist, and he was all like, "Hey, bro, like dude's about to pull up to the studio, blah blah blah. He wants to know if like he can get a beat, for free." Basically, what he was saying, and kind of like, dog,
right,
like what? It's like you walk into a TV store and you expect to walk in and say, "I want that TV. Can I get that TV for free?" Like, bitch, shit ain't for free. So,
right,
you know
right,
what I mean? Like, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people just want things just for free. Especially when it comes to like
right,
being a band lab artist or being any kind of artist that doesn't really have like a social mainframe. Like, don't get me wrong, like band lab's the first thing that I started off with. And till this day, that's the only thing I left off with, honestly, to be honest with you. And it's like, because for me, like, it's a good it's a good thing to start it off with for first
right.
upcoming, if you don't really know exactly what you're doing because you're independent. You don't have engineers. You don't necessarily have the financials to be like, all right, I can hire this person. I got that money to take care of that.
Right,
I got studio time. I got the big bucks. Like,
right.
and you're doing it right. You know what I mean? If
A
you
lot of us, start out
legit,
at the lowest of the low. Like, bro, I have no problem telling. I make $10 an hour. I bring home $700 every 2 weeks. I do not have the money to
and bro,
go to a studio and pay for studio time
yeah,
and this and this. Now, when I was up in Indiana, I was making pretty good money. I made enough money to be able to pay my bills and go play in the studio for hours on end. But I moved back home and I had to hit the restart button.
mm-hmm.
I had to hit restart. And now it's like, bro, I need to get back on my grind. And if I got to do this myself and figure it out myself, I will. But I have a really good friend of mine that I actually met on Xbox. I'm a gamer also. So shout out to the gamers. But
Hey,
he goes
I'm a
by,
gamer too.
I feel that. But my buddy, this guy that I met on there, I was actually playing Apex. I'm a big Apex fan.
Yeah, facts.
Stupid mad, stupid good at
I
it.
can't get into that game,
But,
bro. She gives me a headache, dude. Like, I can't,
bro,
I can't, I can't mess with it.
but nah, I met this kid. I met this dude, and he was like, I heard him playing something. I was like, bro, whose beat is that? He's like, bro, that's mine. I was like, you're capping. He
Mm,
goes, no, bro, I'll send you, I will email you the beat. I said, you're capping.
facts.
He goes, no, and then he like fucking he called me on Facebook. He was like, bro, no, this is my beat, and he showed me where he was making the beat. And I was like, bro, send me that right now. I need that.
Yeah.
He goes, what do you need it for? You don't do music? I was like, bro. So I still had my iPhone X at the time.
Mm,
I played him my song. He was like, bro, that's fire. He was like, I will send you the beat. He goes, you need the beats? Hit me up. But I mean, I eventually fell off. I didn't fall off. I wanted not getting on as much, so we didn't really communicate a whole lot. And then TikTok became a new thing for me.
yeah. Yeah. I've been
I
on for a
mess
little
with
bit.
TikTok,
Mm,
and I actually met my boy Nubs Tonic, which I seen you did an interview with him the
mm,
other day.
yeah.
That's my boy. So he me and him's actually got something in the works,
Mm,
trying to get something in the works to do with each other. And then so I have Nubs, I have my boy Unidan, and then I also have my boy OG Runaway that I actually met
mm.
on broadcasting service. It's kind of like Twitch, but it's not Twitch. It's the name of it's YouNow.
What is it called?
So like YouNow,
You now?
yeah, YouNow.
I'll check it out.
It's. I've met a lot of cool people off of there too, man. And I got one guy that's wanting to work with me when he comes down, and then so I mean I have people that are willing to help. It's
Mm-hmm.
just the fact I'm playing it safe because I know there's snakes in the grass in the music
Yeah,
industry.
but then
You gotta watch. You gotta
sometimes,
watch.
well, yeah, it's good to be safe and sorry, but at the same time, sometimes it takes the risk. You know what I mean? And I know you know that for sure, but
Oh yeah,
what I'm trying to say is like if you know you have the source to help you and you know you can use that for your self benefits, even though it sounds selfish, but at the same time, it's selfish to help you to get in the foot in the door. You know what I mean? And
right.
sometimes that's just what it takes, bro. And
Oh
like for
yeah,
me, like that's why I'm doing this because like I have a really good buddy of mine and he knows how to market. He knows all that. He's been preaching and telling me this for years. But So I picked up a little bit of, this and that, from conversations and things I've done my research on as well with that.
Right.
But also, dude, like any kind of help you can get, bro, you take advantage of that because that's knowledge given. You know what I mean? And sometimes
Right.
people just have a hard
You
time
know,
coming and don't have that influence.
I'm not saying that Nubs or my boy Unidan or my boy OG would do that to me because I know they wouldn't.
Nah, you know them better than anybody say itself because I mean, well, you know them from your experiences or from
Right.
your personal,
Like
yeah.
I've known Nubs for a few months now. Probably about almost 5 or 6 months.
Mhm.
I've known my boy
You said
Dan for
5 or 6 months?
a few. Yeah,
Okay.
about 5 or 6 months, maybe longer. But I've known my boy Dan for years. I've known my boy OG for like 10 years, and I've known Dan for at least a good 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know they wouldn't intentionally, so to say, screw me over.
Right, right. I mean, you get the vibe. You always get a gut feeling, and I always tell a lot of people this too. Go with your gut, bro. Your gut always tells you the truth. Your heart is just
Bro, my
full
gut,
of blood. Your mind has a mind of its own, bro. Sometimes it could just
my
pull
gut
tricks on you,
has
bro.
never been wrong. My gut
Right.
has never been wrong. That's what I listen to, especially as an artist. I listen to my gut.
Yeah.
If something feels shady or something feels too good to be true, I'm not messing with it.
Yeah. You're kind of just like, nah, bro. This ain't the time.
But bro, um, really, when it all comes down to it, for me,
Mm.
it's the support group that I have
Yeah.
that pushes me,
That's always
that
key,
pushes me
bro. That's
every day.
always key. I'm telling you, bro. Without the support team,
My my mom, just shout out to my mom, my dad, my my girl. I mean, a 4-year-old stepdaughter. Like, if it wasn't for them people right there, I'd give up,
yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, it's
But those are the
inspiration.
ones that keep me going, bro. That's my inspiration.
Yeah, it's fuel.
When
It's
it
definitely
truly
fuel.
comes down to it, you know, like I said, everybody has a backstory. My backstory does fuel my music.
Hmm.
But what really truly fuels everything in my day-to-day life are those people.
Yeah, and that's honesty and that's humbleness and just keep that close to you, dude, and just keep blowing, putting that shit out, bro. Because not now, but later, bro, you're gonna reach somebody that's gonna feel that and that's in the same position. And I'm gonna tell every artist the same thing, or anybody really, because if it doesn't affect you, it affects them. It's your energy and what you put
Right,
out in the universe. You know what I mean?
right.
And that's
See,
that's good stuff.
I'm an empath. I'm empath
Hmm.
by all means. So I feel off of other people's energy.
Yeah.
You know, I try to explain this to my old lady a lot. When she's feeling down, I feel down.
Hmm.
But the thing is, I try to reverse it. And 9 times out of 10, I successfully do it. Because I don't like feeling down, and I know she don't like feeling down.
Yeah. You always try to keep your spirits high. Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, I was just having a conversation with her the other day, and she was like, "Babe, what are we gonna do? We're not accomplishing anything that we set out to accomplish. What are we gonna do?" I was
Hmm.
like, "Listen, everything comes to those who wait." So no, we've been waiting for a good minute now, and it feels like we've got nowhere. But I promise you, we're making progress.
Yeah,
You know,
it's not about.
there's that saying, don't let me give you an inch and you take a mile.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
and that's kind of like how life is. You can't take if life gives you an inch, you can't take a mile with it.
right,
Because in the end, that's going to put you at a setback.
right, right. No,
And
definitely.
also, and another saying that I truly, truly live by, and I heard this off of one of Jelly Roll's songs when I was in high school,
I'm gonna have to check out the Jelly Roll, bro.
was,
You keep talking about him. I have to check him out.
bro, he's fire,
Jelly
fire.
Roll.
Yeah, Jelly Roll.
All right.
One of my favorite songs for you to go listen to is Demons with
Mhm.
Little White. And then the second one I would suggest listening to is Smoking Session,
Okay.
which is actually where this quote is actually coming from.
Yeah.
It's he says in the beginning that a wise man once told him, "Don't get so distracted by the alligators that you forget to clean the swamp."
Mhm.
And the meaning behind that is don't get so distracted with problems in life that you forget the goals that you set for yourself.
Okay.
So
I
that was
agree.
like my high school quote right there, and I was like, bro,
Yeah.
that's fire. I'm gonna start living by that.
Right. And then you got that motto.
So,
You had that motivation. You had that inspiration. I know exactly where that comes from because back in high school, music was such a big gateway for my problems, bro. Like I was a problem child after my mom passed. I was on a rage. I was on all that emotion you were talking about, bro. Like I just
oh, yeah,
get into
you was
fights all the
mad,
time. Dude, I was getting into
mad,
fights all the
mad,
time
mad at
just
the
to
world.
express, but my music was my gateway. Bro, music, just
You put your
focus.
headphones on and go to a whole different world. I trust me, I know, bro.
So many people can relate to that, bro. So many people, and that's one of the blessings about music, you know. And
That's like
yeah,
so.
I I, I take that
I'm
shit to
actually
heart.
going to my high school. I'm actually planning on going to my high school sometime before school ends
hmm
and going and talking to these kids.
Or like what was it? Inspiration speakers.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to start that path too because I know how I was in high school. I know the temptations that come when you get into high school because in middle school or elementary school you're not drugs and stuff isn't open.
hmm
Like that's not something you have access to as a middle schooler for majority of your kids.
Right.
But once they get into high school, it's like, hey, bro, we're going to a party. You want to come party with us? And they're like, yeah, come scoop me up at my place.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what started my whole problem
hmm
because I was sneaking out of the house. I was going to these parties. I was turning up. I was living any high schooler's dream at the time,
Yeah.
and was just
Well, you just young,
and
bro.
it caused
You were just being young. At the end of the day, that's just
right.
all it is.
I was being a teenager. I
Yeah.
was being that teenager.
And a lot of kids are gonna go through that. Even God, willing to give you kids or your stepkid that you mentioned, they're gonna go through that, bro. No matter what,
No
you
matter
can't
what you do or say as a parent or an influencer or an inspirational
you
speaker,
can only do what you can to guide them, and that's it, bro. At the
right?
end of the day,
You
they're gonna
can
do what
you
they
can try
do.
to tell them.
And let them just be honest with you, bro. And for you and for me, it was hard for us, you know what I mean? Because we didn't have that kind of
Right.
thing where we can have been honest or upfront. Because growing up in our generation, um, it was kind of like we were taught from our parents' way how they were taught, and it was different from what it is
Right.
now. They didn't have what kids have now, able to speak their mind, able to be
So
more honest with their parents and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And
so
that, yeah.
I read this quote on Facebook the other day,
hmm
and it's kind of stuck with me, and I don't know why it stuck with me, but it has stuck with me, and I like it a lot.
Sure.
But it says, tough times make strong men. Strong men make easy times. Easy times make weak men.
Hmm.
And then the cycle repeats itself. Weak men make tough times. Tough times make strong men.
Yeah.
And, I'm not gonna say I'm going through a tough time,
Hmm.
but I'm definitely not making it as easy as most of these parents and people with thousands and thousands and millions of dollars have.
Gold spoons for
You
sure,
know,
for sure. But you know what?
uh,
At the end of the day, bro, you make what you can out of your situation, and until
right,
it starts getting better for yourself, and in the long run, as long as you do it the right, not well, I mean, you do it the right way, things could still go wrong. But what I'm saying, as long as you keep pushing forward, because it could take
right.
years, it can take it's like if you're taking baby steps, bro, and baby steps are like damn, they're like little tabs, bro. But what I'm saying is, like, look at that movie Will Smith. What was it called? His son played in the movie. Pursuit of Happiness. You saw
Yeah,
how so many
that's
years this man has been pushing and pushing and pushing. All he took is just that one good deal. And now he's a multi-million, maybe billion, he set his entire family up for life. All because of that one good
so.
deal.
A lot of people think a millionaire just have $1 million.
Nah.
You have $1 million and spend 1 cent, you're no
Nowadays,
longer a millionaire.
nowadays I don't even count enough to even be set.
Like it's just, but you spend 1 cent, you're no longer a millionaire.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes down. It depends on what you do with it, because if you don't
Right.
invest and if you don't do the right investments,
See,
you can go bankrupt easy.
see, I take a certain amount of money from my paycheck, or I get paid, and I invest it in stocks.
There you go. Smart move.
When I see that stock gain more than $5
Hmm.
than what I put in, I sell it.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I've made a $5 investment.
Hmm.
And then I go and take that same amount of money that I just put in that one stock. I'll take that $5, I'll put that back. I won't touch it.
Yeah.
I'll take the money that I put in that stock and put it in a different one.
So you have multiple different stocks in case one goes down, one comes back up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So at this point, I have 6 different stocks, but I've done made $50 off of these 6 different stocks.
Hmm.
And when I see it to even drop a little,
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, it's starting to drop. Let's buy more.
Right.
You buy more of that stock because when it shoots back up, you gain more from it.
Right.
So after it goes back up, and I think it's a decent amount of money that I've invested in,
Hmm.
I'll take it out and I'll sell it. And that's how a lot of these multimillionaires use their money, because they invest it.
Yeah.
You don't stay a multimillionaire by just blowing your money.
Hmm.
You stay a multimillionaire by investing your money.
Well, yeah. You know what I mean? For sure.
That's like
You got that's what.
as an artist perspective, I can start out with a $30 mic. That's what I started out with.
Hmm.
Now I've then invested my money into a better equipment.
Yeah.
Now I use a Blue Yeti, which is like $120 mic, $180 mic, and I have better quality sound.
Yeah. And that's the key right there, because investments are always key to your success on the level that you want to get to. If you want to be uh, uh, uh like if you want to be let's say you wanted to be a producer like DJ Khaled, his his equipment are probably off the sky roof. He probably pays stupid money for his equipment. You know what I mean? Just to get that right key, that right tone, etc. You know what I mean? It's just like for yourself, you're starting
Right.
out small. So you have a budget, bro. It's just like all of us. We got a budget when we are making a certain amount of income and we got other mouths to feed and we have life.
Right.
We have a thing that's
You
called life.
can't
We forget about
you
that.
can't be selfish with it.
No, you cannot be
But
selfish.
bro,
At the end of the day, like people think for themselves. And that's why I wanted to get back on
bro,
subject with that music thing, because bro, music it's a selfish thing, but it helps so many others. It heals, it heals
right,
souls, spirit, your spirit in you. It gives you that
right.
relation. It doesn't make you feel like you're just like the only person on this living earth. But
And
sorry to interrupt. You
I'm I'm
going? What were
gonna
you gonna say?
I'm gonna oh, you're good. Uh I'm gonna pretty much end it like this, really, because it's starting to get late.
Yeah, yeah. I was about to
We
say,
both
bro. We
we
we,
both
we we
we
gotta wrap
we
this up.
we both we both gotta work. I'm gonna pretty much end it like this. I Yes, I do music for a therapy session, but I don't do my music just for me.
Yeah,
I do my music for the ones that can't be heard.
yeah.
I do it for the ones that are going through that tough time
People that relate to
because I
you.
know how it is.
Yeah, speak your music, brother. Speak your music, as in let them know where
And
they can reach you, where they can hear you
um,
music. You know what I mean? Like let them know. Let it
you
out
know,
right now.
pretty much all all my platforms, such mainly or the main two that you're gonna hear is on TikTok and on BandLab, and it's literally Big Easy the rapper.
Biggie,
Easy
easy.
spelled his easy with a Z. I spell mine with a Z. I don't spell it with an S. So it's BIGEAZY, the rapper.
Y'all heard that. All right. So whenever y'all get a chance, hit my boy up. All right. If you don't got BandLab, it's totally fine. You got TikTok. I know damn well y'all got TikTok. Don't sit here and
Swear,
y'all didn't TikTok. Everybody got TikTok.
everybody got
Your
TikTok.
grandma got TikTok. And
My
y'all know.
mother-in-law that is 60 something years old has TikTok.
Dude, my grandma, she's 75, but she let me TikTok. I'm like, oh, TikTok. Nah, but dude, it's fun, bro. And that's good. Definitely, it was fun talking to you, bro. I appreciate this whole conversation, bro. And going live, bro, was the first one for me going live. You saw our process. You saw what we had to do.
Right, right, right.
But man, this is definitely for you, for me, for the fans, and for viewers and everybody that's watching, man. We appreciate your time, bro. All right, we
Appreciate
out.
it, bro.
We out, people. We out live, all right?
Peace.
Peace.